Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're old. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this cute granny square flower. It has two layers to it. It's actually easy to create. The first thing you do is make the actual flower part, and then you make the granny square to go around it. What you'll need to create this granny square, I'm using a Susan Bates USG 4mm hook. That's a 6. And I'm using a US H 5mm crochet hook. For the colors, I'm going to be using these. This is called Cotton Candy and the green is called Green Gecko, and they both are by Big Twist, and they both are 100% acrylic yarn. So to begin to make our flower, we're going to be using our USH hook, and we're going to take our cotton candy yarn, and we're going to create a slip knot. The easiest way that I create slip knots, when you're doing this, you want your tails to be long just for demonstration purposes, and you're going to hold your yarn like this, twist it, and you're going to grab this back yarn like that. And again, it's super wide like that so y'all can see. Now when you're crocheting, you don't want all this tail, so what I'm gonna do is shorten mine up. So this is my tail, so I'm going to hold my yarn like that, twist it, and then grab it, bring it back. Take my hook, put it on your hook like that, and tighten it up just a little bit. So after you have tightened up, now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are going to slip stitch into our first chain. Once we have slip stitched in our first chain, now you're going to be double crocheting into that center. So you can't see it now, but it'll be there. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that first chain acts as one of your double crochets. Now you're going to double crochet once into that center, and now you're going to chain 1. So that is going to be your first set. You need 8 sets total. I'm going to do 2 more with you, and then after that I'm going to finish and come back. So now we're going to do 1 double crochet into the center, we're going to do another double crochet into the center, and then we're going to finish our set with the chain 1, and we're going to add as 2, and now we're going to do another double crochet into the center, and we're going to do 1 more, and we're going to finish off our set with our chain 1. So you have 3 total. So I'm going to finish the rest, and then I will be back. So I created my 7th set. Now we're going to do the 8th one together. So I already did my chain 1. So now we're going to do our final and 8th 2 double crochets, chain 1 into the center. So 1 double crochet, and do another double crochet, and you're going to do your final chain 1, and it should look like this. And then now you are going to slip stitch into the top of the first chain right here. And it should look like this. Okay, so now what you're going to do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to create the actual petals now. So now you're going to do 3 double crochets into this space right here. So you go 1, 2, 3, and now we have to, I like to say, close the flower. So we have to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and now you are going to slip stitch back into this space that you were double crocheting into. That. And then now you have these other 2 double crochets right here. So you're going to skip over those 2, and you're going to slip stitch into that chain 1 space right here. And that is your first petal. So now you have to have 8 of these, so I'm going to do 2 more with you and I'll come back. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is creating your flower. Now you're going to do 3 double crochets back into this chain 1 space here. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochets. Now you have to close your flower, so what we're going to do is chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch back into this chain 1 space here. After you slip stitch, you're going to skip over your next 2 double crochets and you're going to slip stitch once again into that next chain 1 spot. And these are your first 2 petals. Now to create the third one, again, we are going to chain 3. That's creating our flower. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. And now we're done. We're going to close our flower by chaining 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to slip stitch back into that chain 1 spot. Skip your next 2 double crochets and slip stitch into the next chain space. So these are your 3 petals. I'm going to finish the rest and come back on the last one. So now we are on our 8th petal. I already finished the 7th one and I already slip stitched into our space or chain 1 where we'll be starting. So we're going to make the 8th one together. So now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into the space. 1, 2, and this is 3. And now we're going to close our flower by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch back into the space. And now we are going to come over here to our next chain. So it's 2 crochets in the fire chain, and we're going to slip stitch into here. And that is our 8 petals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we are going to create our line for our second row. So now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work to the back. Now we are going to slip stitch in between our double crochets. So come over to here and you're going to go in between here and you're going to slip stitch. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Come over to your next 2 double crochets and slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Come over to your next 2 double crochets and slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Come over to your next 2 double crochets and slip stitch. So we're going to do that, and once I get to my 8th one, I'm going to come back. So we are on our final chain, and we're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to come over to these last 2 double crochets, and we're going to slip stitch in between those last 2 double crochets like this. And once you have that, you should have these row of chains on the back of your flower. And this row of chains is going to act as a guide for us to make our second row of petals. So now that you have that, what we're going to do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work back to the front. And so what we're going to do now is create our second row of petals. So to do that, you're going to be double crocheting 6 now, and what you're going to do is you're going to double crochet those 6 underneath this loop here. So those loops that you created on the back. So you're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 4 double crochet, 5 double crochet, and lastly 6 double crochet. And of course you're going to close your flower by chaining 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to slip stitch back into that space. And then we're going to come over to our next loop right here, so underneath that petal, and you're going to slip stitch once again to connect. So now you have your first petal of your second row, so we're going to go ahead and do another one by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and again you're going to do 6 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to close your flower by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to slip stitch back into that space. Come over to your next petal. Behind there should be another space, and you're going to slip stitch into that space. And we're going to chain 3 again to create our next petal. 1, 2, 3, and again 6 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here I realized that I did not do 6, I did 5 double crochets, but make sure you do 6 and then do your chain 3 to close your flower off. So now we're going to chain 3 to close the flower, and then after that we're going to slip stitch back into this space right here. And then we're going to come over to our next space and we're going to slip stitch here. And I'm going to finish the rest and I'll come back on my final one. So now we're on our final petal. I already slip stitched back into my space. Now I'm going to come over and slip stitch into my next and final space. And now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do your 6 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to chain 3 to close your flower off. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch back into that space that you are working in. and you're going to come over to this flower petal right here underneath that and slip stitch into that space to conjoin them. So now we're going to create our row of chains that's on the back of the flower like we did prior, and we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work to the back, and you're going to skip over this first petal right here, and you're going to come over to your second petal, and you're going to slip stitch underneath that petal right here. Chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to come over to your next petal and go underneath that petal like this and slip stitch again. You're going to chain 3 again, and you're going to come over to your next petal and you're going to slip stitch underneath that next petal right here. Again, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, come over to your next petal, and you're going to slip stitch underneath that petal. And again, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, come over to your next petal, and slip stitch. Chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, come over to your next petal, and slip stitch. One more time, chain 3, come over to your next petal, and slip stitch. And this is your final petal, chain 3, come over to this petal right here, you're going to meet right here, and you're going to slip stitch underneath that petal. Like that. So again, you have this row of chains on the back of your flower. This is going to act as a guide for us to create our granny square. So what I'm going to do is just chain 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn off. And this is your flower. This is the front of your flower here. It's really cute. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you all how to actually make the granny square part. So now I'm just going to weave these loose ends in real fast. What you're going to do is just take your hook. I'm going to use my Susan Bates G hook, and I'm going to go underneath a few of my stitches, and I'm just going to pull the yarn through, and once I feel like that's enough, I'm just going to cut it so it looks like this. So now we're going to take our green gecko yarn and we're going to do a slip knot, and we're going to take our USG hook and we're going to insert a hook like this. And you're going to tighten up just a little bit so that your yarn is not too loose. And after that, you're going to take your flower and you're going to pick a space, one of those chain spaces that were created on the back of the flower, and we're going to attach our yarn to it like this. So now our yarn is attached, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to create our corner for our granny square. So this is the first one, so we're going to double crochet 2 more underneath this space. So this is technically 2, and then this is 3 because the first one acts as a double crochet. Now this is your corner, so you're going to have to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets again to that same space. And then this is your third one. Then you're going to move over to your next space and you're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and then this is 3. You're going to move over to your next space, and then this is going to be a corner, so you're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do chain 2, 1, 2, and then another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and then this is 3. Then you're going to move over to your next space and you're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then your next space is going to be a corner. So you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and then this is 3. And then you're going to move over to your next space and you're going to do 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, and then your next space is going to be a corner. So you are going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to come over to your next space, which is the top, and you're going to do your final 3 double crochets into that space right there. 1, 2, 3, and then you are going to slip stitch to that top stitch right there. So you should have something that looks like this. Moving on to our second row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now you're going to do 2 additional double crochets into this space. Your first chain 3 acts as a double crochet. So this is your second double crochet, and then this is your third double crochet. Now we're going to move over to what would be our corner, and we are going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and then this is 3, and then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then do additional 3 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and then this is 3. After that, you're going to move over to your next space, and you're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and this is 3. You're going to move over to your next space, and you're going to do another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and then this is 3. You're going to move over to your next space, which is a corner. So you already know you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then do an additional 3 double crochets. This is your first, this is your second double crochet, this is your third double crochet, and then you're going to do chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to do your next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and then this is 3. You're going to move over to your next space, and you're going to do an additional 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Move over to your next space, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and then this is 3. And next you should be at a corner, so you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets again, 2, and then this is 3. So now we are going to continue that sequence. You're going to do 3 double crochets here, another 3 double crochets here. This is your corner. So you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2 plus 3 double crochets. And you're going to come over to your next space, 3 double crochets. And then when you get to here, you're going to slip stitch. So we're going to do our next 3 double crochets into our next space. 1, 2, and this is 3. And we're going to move over to our next space and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and this is 3. I'm going to come over to our next space, which is our corner. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come over to our next space. This is our final 3 double crochets. So this is going to be 2 double crochets, and then this is going to be our 3rd double crochet. You couldn't see the first one I created off camera, but there's 3 there if you can see it now. And now we're going to come over and we're going to slip stitch into that top of that chain right there. And this is what we have. So you could stop here if you want. I'm going to do one more row just so it can be bigger. But again, if you want to stop here, you can. And this is the front of the granny square, what it's looking like thus far. But again, we're going to continue on and do our final row. To begin our 3rd and final row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do 2 double crochets back into that space. 1 and 2. Remember that your first chain 3 acts as a double crochet. You need 3 total right here. The next space you're going to do 3 double crochets into here. The next space is a corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Turn our work. You have 3 spaces. You're going to do 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, and 3 double crochets here. The next space is a corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, turn in our work again. You have 3 spaces again, remembering 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. You're going to do 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here. Next is a corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. You're going to continue that sequence and come back. Our final set of double crochets. So now we are going to do 3 double crochets into the next space right here. 1, 2, and this is 3. Now we're going to come over and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain right here. And we're going to chain 1 and we're going to cut our yarn. I'm going to pull it through. So this is the square. I'm going to zoom out so you all can see. This is what we have. And now I'm just going to take my hook and I'm going to weave in the loose threads. And this is the final product. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. That way you can see my future tutorial where I show you how to turn these cute granny squares into a purse. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.